A shelter is a place where a living thing can feel safe. Humans have found and made shelters for millions of years. Shelters have enabled humans to travel and live everywhere on Earth, from the cold of the South Pole to the high mountains to baking hot deserts. We still make shelters we can move about today. Can you think of any? Today's challenge is to make and test a shelter made from paper. For this activity, you will need a nice clear space to work. You should use a cutting mat to protect any tables if using sharp tools. And you'll need some scissors, a ruler, a pencil or a pen, some glue or sticky tape or a glue stick if you have one, and some sheets of paper. A4 printer paper is ideal. That's around 20 centimetres wide and 30 centimetres long. You will also need to draw some circles. You can use a compass if you have one, or just draw around the edge of a tin or a plate. To test the strength of your shelters, you'll also need a plastic top of a cola or water bottle and some rice. If we're going to make a shelter, we'll need some people to go in it. Here they are. Our paper family's own home has been badly damaged by a terrible storm, and another storm is on the way. Could you protect them? You can make your own paper family from scrap pieces of paper. Make them about 5 centimetres tall and 1 centimetre wide. Our family will also need some space to move and do things. That is the floor space of your shelter, a 10 centimetre diameter circle. Again, you can use some spare paper to make the floor. Your challenge today is to make sure your paper shelter is strong. In your final design, you can use 2 pieces of A4 paper to make your shelter, that's printer size paper, and some glue or tape to connect the sheets together. It's always good to try and test ideas out first to find the best one. Do you know how to make a cone? To make a cone, you take a circle about the size of a small plate and find the centre. If you've used a compass to mark the circle, you should have a little hole, but you can also find it by gently folding the circle in half 2 times. Now, make a cut from the edge of the circle to the centre. If you now overlap and stick the cut edges, it will form a shallow cone. This cone might not be high enough for your paper family. Now, if you cut a segment from the circle and overlap it, what do you notice? Experiment with different size circles and segment sizes to find a cone that will fit nicely over your paper family and their floor. Is the cone a strong shape? As well as a building's strength, architects need to think about the spaces inside where people move and work, as well as the strength of the building. How much space or volume did your final shelter have inside? Can you make one that's both strong and spacious? If you can, you may be a future architect. OK, it's time to test our shelter. Make sure our paper family is safely at the side. Get a very light container or fold up some spare paper into a box and rest or hold it gently on top of the shelter. Add bottle caps of rice to the container to see how many bottle caps it takes before the paper shelter begins to fail. Each bottle cap will contain around 5 grams of rice. Add up the number of bottle caps of rice you used and multiply it by 5. That is your score.